Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 14, Chapter 3, The Capital in Turmoil, Part 4. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. At this point, the gun Kondou was holding flashed a red light. Seeing the red light, the corners of Kondou's mouth rose slightly. That is, a very, very small and unassuming glimmer of a smile. Can this man also laugh? Kagali wondered while the biggest alarm sounded in her heart. Procrastination, by the way, is this real? There was no escape now, and it was difficult to stall for any more time. Footman and Terror should have sensed Kagali's thoughts as well. They were undead elf clans like Kagali, immortal in the true sense of the word. It's a rare time for Yuki-sama to get his hands on flesh. It's going to take a while to settle down again, but it's better than losing everything. Even though it's dragging Footman and Tear down, I'll prepare them for tougher flesh next time. Kagali made her decision. I'm so underestimated by the humans. Footman, Tear, stop playing with him and give him a taste of my true power as a demon lord. Kagali let the demon chi spread all over her body, making a power that went beyond the limits. Footman and Tear too, seeing Kagali in this state, understood the battle plan. Just losing my arms and legs won't stop me. This girl can go on too. It's been so long since I've been able to show my stuff, my heart is pounding. Like matching Kagali, Footman also rounded his body and started jumping. Then Tear, like Kagali, began to liberate the monster aura. In the center of the imperial capital, the huge demonic aura gradually expanded. If Kondou could make it look like this was a special attack with the intention of going down together, Kagali and their fight would be a success. However, Kondou didn't even frown in the face of this situation. Methodically, he stowed his saber and confirmed the status of the pistol. It seems that only the spirit body can survive. Why do you know this? The so-called battle is over before it begins. The total annihilation of the Mecha Legion was due to the negligence of the enemy in gathering intelligence. Doesn't it take failure for granted to storm off without even knowing the right situation? Don't you think so? That being said, your men have been a disappointment. They were clearly given the best possible time, but lost to a new demon lord who had been installed in the district. It's ridiculous to call it a demon lord too. What did you say? But you guys lost just fine. I also had a basic grasp of what was going on all over there. After all, a more interesting existence than Clayman was born. I asked you what that meant. Kagali's anger erupted, already no longer considered calming herself down, as the hatred of Lieutenant Kondou had made her forget herself. Kondou's statement amounted to a confession that it was he who had manipulated Clayman. Kagali's anger could no longer be restrained, and Footman, who was particularly sensitive to the emotions of anger, reacted to Kagali's anger by allowing it to increase further. It turned out, ironically, to be exactly what Kondou had expected. How naive. In battle, get emotional. It's only because of this level of awareness that it's so easy to fall into the trap. Kondou said so and pulled the trigger. Pow! Kagali popped spasmodically as the sound came softly. There was no bloodshed, because it was a very special bullet that affected not the flesh but the spirit. Its name is the Curse Bomb of Domination. It was a secret treasure bestowed by Emperor Rudra, and one of Kondou's killer weapons. The Domination spell bomb was given a portion of Rudra's powers, with the effect of dominating and manipulating others. It took some effort, but it was in line with the plan. Kagali, get your companions to abort the act of fighting. After all, you're so careful, you've already carved a spell on the summoner, haven't you? I see, Lord Kondou. Don't call me that, just call me Lieutenant. Yes, Lieutenant Kondou. Yes, sir. Just like that, Kagali fell into Kondou's hands. Then, as Kondou had expected, the spells were engraved on the souls of all of Yuki's companions. Tear and Footman, too, were unable to disobey the words of Kagali, the commanding officer. The darkness of the Tidou restored calm. To hate your own powerlessness. What is called justice is something that exists only in the midst of the multitude and is united by a stronger will, as is the ideal. Your ambition has turned to morning dew in the face of His Majesty Rudra's righteousness, that's all. However, without the awareness of being trampled upon, one is not even qualified to be ambitious. Therefore, let me remember your remorse. Kondou himself was alive with a sense of consciousness, so he wouldn't look down on people like Kagali. If it is himself who loses, he will face the same fate, which he has learned from his own experience. Yuki and Damrada clinch and engage in a fierce battle. It's not sure how many times the two have alternated offense and defense. The fight between high-level fighters based on the flesh of 1,000 hammers. Actually, the fight was more than that. Yuki tries to communicate with Damrada, using chanting, rather than dialogue. Damrada also tried to respond by assisting Yuki in action. Several times in the fight, unnecessary physical contact was made in order to exchange information at that moment. Really, is it finally connected? I didn't realize that Damrada, even you have acquired an ultimate skill. It took me so much effort to convey my thoughts. Was it already there when you met me? Just a borrowed item. Of course, when I met Lord Yuki, I already had an ultimate skill. Borrowed item? What does that mean? As it literally is. My power is nothing but a gift from the Emperor. Is it possible to do such a thing? I understand your doubts, but I'm the witness. You have to understand, it's possible. Is the transfer of that skill for anyone? Ordinary humans, not to mention ultimate skills, can't even be a vessel for unique skills. Just accommodating the powers that be requires a huge amount of energy. Therefore, we must transform our flesh like the otherworldly man. I'm relieved to hear you say that. I thought the Emperor was having a great sale on my powers, so I was anxious. Ha ha ha, it's not happening yet. And it is His Majesty's plan to achieve this goal. I see, and Yuki understood. Is that why we collect the strong? Exactly. Humans, too, will evolve at the end of their practice. The race itself changes and becomes immortal. Yuki-sama, who has reached the realm of saints, knows this too, right? Sort of. Yuki has also experienced that from human beings to immortals, and then to saints, it is impossible to achieve this with ordinary cultivation. Even among the top 10 saints of the Western countries, the only ones who have reached the saints, in the true sense of the word, are only Hanada and Ser. It is only after man has evolved into an immortal that he has been able to break away from the framework called human communication and become personally connected to the world. Those who have reached this stage will be gathered together to form the Imperial Emperor's Knights of the Near Guard, and under the screening of His Majesty Rudra, it can be said that this is the minimum passing line. Centaur is the minimum pass line? Well, yes. Lord Yuki had also fought with Guy, so he should be able to understand how powerful he was, right? Even for a saint, there is no possibility of victory. Well, sort of. To defeat Guy, awakening an ultimate skill is the minimum requirement. Is this an ultimate skill? Yes, His Majesty Rudra is well aware of that. Therefore, trials are given to those who have reached the level of immortals, to promote their further awakening, in order to train them into a vessel capable of giving them ultimate skills. It's a mess. But I'd do the same if I were you. It's a great help to understand so quickly. The fact that Rudra can empower others is truly astonishing. This is an example of the greatness of His Majesty Rudra. Those who reach the realm of the sage, His Majesty Rudra grants the ultimate skill of substitution. So did Rudra start the war to awaken his men? The reasoning is this. The previous battle was thwarted by Veldora and suffered a setback, but the battle was fought that way. A few have evolved into immortals, with more battle power to add than to lose. Still patient enough, Yuki felt admiration at the same time as jealousy. Like this, the two men exchanged chanting words, while fighting each other. Then finally, Yuki's power broke through Damrada's mental barrier. Oh, we did it. I've found it, the core that manipulates your power. That would be great. Can it be lifted? Well, no problem. But will it be exposed to Kondou when it's lifted? I guess we'll be exposed. It's okay. Then let it go in one breath. Yuki and Damrada are not fighting pointlessly. Damrada knew about Yuki's power blocking, and he believed that this power could lift the domination imposed by Kondou. Yuki also saw right through Damrada's thoughts, and without anyone else having to say much, had been testing out Damrada's condition. After confirming with Damrada, Yuki concentrated his strength in one breath. The palm of life, the bottom of Yuki's palm, struck Damrada's chest. This strike was well controlled and only shattered the bullet. It was really straightforward and Damrada was thus restored to freedom. That's very helpful, Yuki-sama. Don't rely too much on others, I'm more worried about Kagali and the others. I'm going over there. What are you going to do? Allow me to accompany you. I'm going to show up with Demon Lord Rimuru tomorrow anyway, and it's even more dangerous to easily return to Kondou's men if I have to take advantage of the momentum to stage a coup. Indeed, there's no need to hide it. Let's go then. Yes. Yuki turned and walked towards the door, and Damrada nodded and followed. But this moment, why don't you clean up the strangers and just hang around, Damrada? Or, do you really want to betray Lord Rudra? Hearing the cold voice, Yuki tensed and stopped moving. The real crisis that opens here.